Welcome to the M1 Center Point, where we are experiencing and witnessing this lightweight national title fight between Israel Mane Machine Kamwamba, the defending champion, and Osgood, the Punisher, Kayuni. Israel Kamwamba is coming from Blantyre. He used to be with No Pain No Gain, but they've parted ways now since Craig Grisol has decided not to take a break from boxing. That's the right way to put that. And Osgood Kayuni is a soldier with the Malawi Defense Force at the Kamuzu Barracks, and he's flanked by 4 of his boxing buddies in Crispin Moriarty, Alec Mwenda, and of course there is Yusuf Dila, who is also from the Kamuzu Barracks gym. And there's also Mangwala there, who is an old-time coach of boxing. And Israel Mane Machine Kamwamba is flanked by Jonas Kakwere, also from Blantyre. I'll be joined by Marvin, who happens to be a boxer and a trainer at the KIS. He's actually working with GIZ, but he's so passionate about boxing. Good evening, Marvin.
Good evening, Phil.
Well, it's an exciting day. We've seen lots of action today, but this is the national title fight. Experience versus youth. From experience, what should we expect?
Well, I expect fireworks in this fight. We will see a very interesting matchup. One powering through with his strong physique, and Osgood fighting with experience and using his head more, using his footwork more. I'm very excited for the first bell, and after that, we can do an analysis.
Awesome. Well, possibly you haven't seen Osgood before, but maybe you've seen Israel fight before. But what I can say is Osgood is an old-timer. He's in his early 30s now, but he's been fighting for about 15 years, 16 years, and he has faced most of the fighters in Malawi and has done so well. He has fought internationally, one of the boxers who have done well for Malawi, outside Malawi. However, his last fight in South Africa was a disaster. He got knocked out in the first round. Israel Mane Machine Kamwamba, promising boxer. I mean, he was in the ABU title fight in Nigeria against Joseph Otoboy. Unfortunately, he lost on points, but his last fight, he was in Tanzania, where he faced Ibrahim Class in the UPO and IBO title fight. He lost in the first round as well. So we're facing 2 boxers who lost the last fights in the first round. Possibly, how does that affect you psychologically?
So it psychologically affects you very bad when you lose in the first round. Me personally, I've never been knocked down or knocked out, but many of my friends have. So both of them are hungry. Both of them want to prove themselves and to the crowd, to their fans, that these first round knockouts were accidents, were mistakes, and now they want to correct this mistake. So I'm expecting both fighters to come out very aggressively, and they'll give the crowd an entertaining fight.
Awesome. That's a great analysis. Well, it's experience versus youth, and usually when this happens, you expect either of the two. One can win, it may end up in a draw, or there might be a knockout. High possibilities of a knockout because both boxers are hard punchers. But Osgood Kayuni is a boxer like Mayweather, doesn't punch anyhow, calculates his punches, and hits the target maybe 98, 100% most of the time.
Well, that's good. I like boxers who find their targets very often. So in this fight, the first boxer to find the target will probably dominate the fight or the round, and from there the fight can go either way. You know, one punch in boxing can change everything. One punch can change the entire momentum of the fight. We can have the fight going for this side or this side. The other guy lands a punch. The fight goes the other way. And it will be very interesting to see that. Of course, the crowd, the people, the fans, they want to see a knockout. And that's what they want, trying to give their fans, right? After they're both coming off losses. Both of them coming off losses. So, as I said, they want to prove it. They want to prove that those first round knockouts were accidents, were mistakes. And now both fighters are getting ready. And you can see the determination in their eyes. They really want that. They really want the win, both of them.
Thank you very much, Marvin. And I'll be falling back on Marvin most of the times to get his expert analysis because he's the man who's been in the ring. He's the man who has fought before, and he has over 70 fights to his name. That's an impeccable experience and record for one to hold. But right now, we're getting into the first round as we're expecting Osgood Kayuni the challenger from the red corner, and Israel Mani Machine Kamwamba in red trunks and black sneakers to actually defend his title. So we don't know whether the title will remain in Lilongwe or go back to Blantyre. It's all up to the two boxers and the training they have put into this fight. The referee for the fight is Desire Kambewa, who has just signaled the two boxers to come. And Osgood Kayuni is starting with that nice jab, and Israel Kamwamba testing the waters as well from the veteran. So it's youth against experience. Israel once again trying to get into the body. We know how important it is to get into the body, actually, when it means slowing your opponent down. And as you can see, both boxers are well built. You can see the six packs are showing, and their legs actually will tell you that they've been running and they've been working in the gym. That's very important in boxing.
Yes, if you look at the legs, most of the power for the punches, they come from the legs. And you see both boxers are well trained. And as I can tell, Osgood really picks his punches, and Israel is powering forward. He's trying to land a hard punch. Osgood is figuring him out. He's evading the punches very good. He should be careful of Israel's right hands though, because he's leaving his left hand down. You can see that right here. Yeah, that's the punch he has to be careful for. I know you see him going even forward. Yeah, you see Osgood makes his opponent miss. Israel is coming forward. He's the more aggressive fighter in the opening round.
Well, Israel is always aggressive. He always tries to test the waters and see how strong you are. But it's going to be an intelligent fight, I expect, because both boxers kind of use their herds. In most cases, when you have a brawler, they're usually thoughtless. But you can see that Israel, though he's a brawler, he uses a lot of thought getting into a fight, actually trying to pick his punches. So it's Osgood again, testing the waters, trying to find an opening to land a hard punch, because he has a stinging right hand that can knock the living daylights out of you if you're not careful. Actually, he has seen other boxers go to sleep in this ring before, both here and Blantyre as well. Well, talking of international experience, so much for Osgood Kayuni. He fought in the amateurs. He fought for Zone 6, Zone 4, but he has also fought professionally, internationally. As for Israel, about 25 fights in amateur, not bad. But in professional fights, he's been to Namibia, he's been to Nigeria, he's been to Zimbabwe, he's been to Tanzania. So a few fights for him internationally. That also speaks volumes of what we should expect from him. The fight has started slowly, and that's expected of a fight that has 12 rounds to it, because the boxers have to preserve their energy.
Yes, you're right. So they're just figuring out each other in the first round. Both know their opponent is dangerous, and no one wants to be the first one on the receiving end of a hard punch. You see Osgood is trying to go down to the body, slowing his opponent down. He's fighting good defensively. He's fighting very good defensively. He's evading the punches. Israel is going forward, and he's trying to land a hard punch that makes his opponent respect him.
Well, end of the first round, and well, haven't seen so much, but I think we've been able to see the styles of the two boxers. We can tell this boxer, we should expect this from him and expect this from him, because I think some flashes of brilliance have been shown to us in the first round.
Yes, exactly. Both of them have to be careful to not be the first one to receive a hard punch. As you said, Israel is very calculated, although he's aggressive and moving forward. He's very defensive-minded too. He's not taking any unnecessary risk in the first round. But I expect the second round to have more fireworks. I expect the second round to be faster. Both of them will step up the game now, because they figured out their opponent and they know what to do now.
Well, the last time Israel came here, he was a challenger, and he fought against Crispin Moliad, who sustained an eye injury and had to quit in the 10th round in the championship rounds. It was sad for Crispin because he was leading on points, because it's quite evasive, but a head clash costed him the fight and the belt. But today, Osgood Kayuni has to be very careful when Israel is coming in to avoid those head clashes.
Of course, whenever you step in the ring as a boxer, you always want to come out as you went in. You don't want to sustain any injuries, any long-lasting injuries, because boxing is a very dangerous sport. It's not a game. You fight. It's a fight sport, and your goal is to damage your opponent, to beat your opponent. And every boxer wants to emerge out of the ring first victorious, second without any injuries. And I really hope there's no injury, no accidental injury today. And as you said, Crispin is a very evasive boxer. Crispin is a good counter puncher. And I didn't see the fight, but I'm close friends with Crispin. And the fight played out very good for Crispin at first, but then he received that headbutt, which changed the momentum of the fight, and of course he had to quit. You don't want to continue with an injury, so you fight another day, but you live today. And I can see that Crispin has to moved a lot and scored points, and Osgood has to do the same against Israel. So he has to try to counter punch him. Yeah, he has to counter punch him. He has to look for the openings, and then sting in with the right and left straight, and go to the body.
Very important information. I believe if Osgood Caetano's corner were listening to such information and advice, they would make use of it. Now, it's getting to a brawl as Israel Kamwamba is becoming more aggressive now, having tested Osgood in the first round. I think he wants to keep the belt, but Osgood so much wants it. Well, that was a foul shot. I think that was an open glove. But anyway, when it lands and you're knocked down, it doesn't matter.
The problem is when you hit with a foul shot, let's say an open glove, you go down and the referee didn't see it. The referee will count you out nevertheless. So you always, as a boxer, always have to be careful not to get hit even by foul shots. And the referee has to maintain his vision and his control of the fight. The referee does not have the mandate to stop a fight when the punch was correct. He has the mandate to stop a fight when the punch was incorrect. Let's say with the open glove, with the backhand, with the elbow. But the referee has to see it, and he has to act it. He has to punish the boxer. He has to deduct a point. Yeah, and as a boxer on the receiving end, again, you have to be very careful. No matter if it's a foul shot or not, when you go down, the referee didn't see it, the fight is over.
That's right.
Yeah, and yeah, you have to be very careful. And Israel also has to be careful not to be caught getting in a foul shot, because then he might lose the fight by disqualification. And we really don't want that. We want to see the fight.
Well, Osgood Caetano being very aggressive there, ducking most of Israel's shots. It's now gone back to basics, trying to jab now his way into Caetano's defenses. Now Caetano there getting aggressive and sticking his jab into Israel Kamwamba. Well, the second half is picking up quite interesting. Since flashes of brilliance in this second round, and they're expecting to see the fight picking up the tempo as it goes.
Yes, so in the second round we saw Osgood going in the reverse gear, going backwards and landing nice clean shots. No power shots, but the shots were well timed and they hit their target. These are all points. When it comes down to 11 rounds, Osgood will have put even the light punches count, and they win you the round. And Israel is following Osgood around and trying to land this one hard shot, which knocks his opponent down and even out, because Israel should utilize his jab more, and Osgood should use his head movement more to evade those punches.
Well, talking of reach advantage, I think Israel's got a better reach advantage, but unfortunately, he's brawling instead of trying to set up the jab. And that could be detrimental to him, because you end up losing a lot of energy as the round goes, as we're getting into round 3 now.
Yes, if you look at the world level boxers, they win their fights with the jab. And Israel should do exactly that. He should jab. He should prepare his right hand. The left hand prepares the shot, the hard shot, the right hand. So the left hand, so Israel should jab. He should jab more. You see, he's not jabbing enough. So if he jabs, he can find the target for his right hand. Yeah, and all these jabs, they're points. They're points at the end of the fight. They'll be counted together at the end of the round. They'll be counted together, and might be the difference if you win the round or not.
Exactly. And now, Caetano getting quite aggressive now, as Israel's missing those punches. Now he gets Caetano, hurts him on the hurt. I think Caetano got hurt right there.
He got hurt, and he was evading the punches pretty good. Israel should go and follow up on this one, but he's doing a good job of closing the distance. He's keeping the fight close to him, just how he likes it. And as long as Osgood does not move away, he plays into Israel's cards, and Israel's doing a good job of landing hard punches whenever he wants to, when Osgood is standing at the ropes or standing and not moving.
Well, Kayuni now getting to the body, trying to knock the wind out of Israel's diaphragm. Well, it's a boxer against a brawler, but Kayuni calculates a lot, takes time to land, but gets in most of the time. Here they come again, engaging there. I think Kayuni's experience is showing there as he's trying to outpower Israel, as Israel is the busier of the two tonight.
Yes, he's the busier one, and as for this round, Osgood didn't land any significant punches, and if both fighters don't land significant punches, the round will be awarded to the more aggressive fighter. And I can see this round going to Israel. Oh, he gets him with a good leaping left hook. He doesn't put enough pressure in his punches to really stun Osgood, who is a veteran fighter, who has seen punchers, who has faced boxers, who has faced people who punch really hard. I think Osgood took some hard shots, and he's very experienced, so he knows what he's doing in there. And as of now, he's trying to wear him down. He's trying to make him miss, but he's still not punishing him. So Mayweather said, make him miss and make him pay.
Exactly.
So as of now, Osgood is making him miss, but he's not making him pay.
Exactly. So that's the one element that Osgood needs. It doesn't matter if it's just a jab, if it's a 1-2, a combination, it works better to wear out your opponent. But right now, Israel seems quite strong and still missing, landing some, missing some, but missing a lot, unfortunately.
And that the most aggressive. But Phil, he's the more aggressive fighter right now, and I can see this round going to Israel.
Exactly.
Although the round is not done yet, you should never judge early in boxing because every punch can change the game. And you see the crowd is getting loud. And Israel is chasing Osgood through the ring. Osgood is on his back foot. He's running, trying not to get punched, not to get hit by one of those hard punches. And I have to give this round to Israel.
Well, Israel doing so well. They're being so aggressive, having the ring generalship at the end of the day. But the experience of Osgood showing that all he needs to do is to let his hands go most of the time. Because right now, Osgood is on the back foot, but he's holding his hands. He's not letting those hands go where it matters. And that could prove detrimental at the end of the game because judges are there to calculate the points at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly. He's not letting his hands go enough. He's evading a punch is good, most of them. But he needs to seize the opportunity of the openings of Israel when he's punching. So when Israel is punching, he's very open, which is for a counter puncher is very nice because a 1-2, straight right hand, left hook, straight left, they all fit in there. And Osgood can do it. He's fast enough on his legs. He has fast enough hands. He should seize the opportunity and not wait for the later rounds because at the end of the day, he might have lost more rounds than he won. And we have 12 rounds to go. It doesn't make sense to start boxing when you're in the 10th. You have to start from the very first round and try to win every single round because you never know how it plays out in the end.
Well, we're getting into the third round and just being delayed by a few hitches there as they're cleaning the canvas to make sure it's quite dry for the boxers not to slip. And Kayuni starting hard there with his combinations, jab leading, and then a flurry of combinations gets into the body as Kamwamba comes forward now with those hooks of his. And now Kamwamba another hook and misses. Kayuni is getting aggressive. I think they got exactly what Marvin was saying to say Kayuni needs to make him miss and make him pay. That's exactly how he's coming in this round. But how long is he going to stick to that? Israel coming forward, being the aggressive. He owns the ring generalship so far as Kayuni is on the back foot. It's quite dangerous for any boxer to go toe-to-toe with Israel Kamwamba. I've only seen two who've done that and did it so well. Otto Josephs from Nigeria and, of course, Ibrahim Class from Tanzania. They did it so well. Yamikanin Kandawida tried it and paid so dearly. He was knocked out twice by this same guy, Israel Kamwamba. So he's so hard to fight with toe-to-toe unless you have what it takes. So what I heard from Israel when he faced Otto Joseph, he said the guy has a stinging punch and he couldn't match him toe-to-toe.
Yeah, that's true. When you fight internationally, you have to be careful and you have to be aware that there's always one better guy who knows your game better than you do, and that's why you have to be a versatile boxer. You need to know different styles. So when you're fighting a brawler, you don't want to stand toe to toe with him. You want to outbox him. When you're fighting a boxer, you want to wear him down. You want to fight him. So that's why it's very, very important to have a sort of variety in your styles as a boxer. And over time, with experience and with training, you develop these styles and you know how to face different types of boxers. And as we can see here, both boxers are very open right now, and they're trading punches, whereas Osgood is making Israel miss. But often they're standing too close to each other to land any significant punches.
Exactly.
So they should time their footwork together with their punches to stay in the perfect distance to land those hard punches, or just land any punches. So Osgood is making Israel miss 5 punches in a row. You're seeing that. He's making him miss 5 punches in a row, and both of them stand very insecure on their feet. So you always have to make sure you have your stance where you can launch punches, quick punches, powerful punches, counter punches off. And let's see, maybe when the fight goes on, both fighters find their stances, because the power at the end comes from the feet.
Right now, Osgood on the back foot. He came in strong, but Israel, knowing he's trailing, has come with just to throw everything from every muscle to make sure that Osgood pays. He's still the aggressive one and wins on the ring generalship so far. But now they go toe to toe again. Osgood on the guard, trying to block and trying to get inside.
So,
end of round 4 goes.
So Osgood is guarding his face, but he's not guarding his head. So he gets those wild high makers. He gets hit behind the ear, he gets hit on his head, and that leaves an impact on you. And Israel is doing a good job in wearing his opponent down, just moving forward no matter what his opponent is throwing at him. So it's a very interesting fight so far.
Well, if you happen to be in Osgood Caetano's shoes, what exactly would you do at this point?
I would move and I would pick my punches. I would stand even toe to toe with him, release my punches. The uppercut is very good in this situation because Israel is coming forward with his head. So I put up the right uppercut and the left hook and hit him really good, and a double left to the body to slow him down. And as soon as he takes a step back, I'll be there to move forward. So you see there, you have to differentiate your styles. So first you box him, and when you see he's wearing down, he's losing his air, you go forward and try to finish the fight.
Important advice. And what would you do if you're in Israel's shoes?
So if I was in Israel's shoes, I would close down my guard, bite down my mouthpiece, and try to get Osgood in a corner where he cannot move away, and then I would just release a flurry of punches to the body and to the head. And there you can hit him good because he cannot move anywhere. And what I haven't seen from both fighters is going to the body. So many fighters make the mistake not going to the body to slow the opponent down. Body punches hurt. If you ever got hit in your body, you will always hit the opponent in your body because you know it hurts, it takes away your breath, and you can do whatever you want with him. It's basically when you hit a good body shot, you can be sure you're going to win the round, you're going to win the fight.
Exactly. Well, we're in round number 5, and Osgood Caetano coming strong, trying to get the body shot. He's trying to get into the body now because he knows Israel is quite strong and he's got to weigh him out. And that's exactly what he's trying to do right now. But Israel is quite evasive as well. He's not just a brawler, he's a brawler who actually thinks he's an intelligent fighter. So it's quite even right now, as Israel has now paid on the back foot. Caetano coming in now. He's trying to land those uppercuts and those body shots, body hooks.
So as soon as Israel goes back, Osgood should try moving forward because Israel is not a counter puncher. So he cannot box on the back foot as good as on the front foot. So this opportunity should be seized by Osgood to move forward and land some significant punches to the head and body, and should have more lateral movement to evade those hard punches Israel throwing at him.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what Autoboy Joseph said to Israel Kamwamba. He made sure that Israel was the one backpedaling by giving him a very stinging jab and then following him through the body. And Israel had a tough time in Nigeria all night long. And we saw Israel getting knocked out in Tanzania via a body shot that was landed by Ibrahim Class. Actually, it was a left hook to the body that dropped him.
So the left hook to the body is the most, I would say it's the most painful punch you can ever get, because it goes right on the liver. It takes away it sucks out the air out of your body, and there's nothing you can do. You just fall down, and I think Israel should have learned his lesson to go more to the body, but he's trapping Osgood against the ropes, and he's landing some good punches to the head. What I'm missing here is a body punch, which could bring Osgood in serious trouble.
Well, beautiful shot there coming from Israel Kamwamba, who's quite aggressive right now, but he's missing as he's landing as well. It's a mixed fortunes actually for Israel Kamwamba.
That might play into Osgood's cards in the later round, because Israel is using a lot of energy on those missed punches right now, and we still have to go a few rounds until we reach the 12th, and it's a championship fight, so everything can happen even in the later rounds. So we should not make any decisions now on who's better, who's worse, because in boxing anything can happen. One punch can change everything.
Exactly. And now both boxers towing inside, and Osgood stopping there at end of round 5. Well, we've seen some great punches there coming from Israel, but like you said, I've always told Malawian boxers, please learn to land body shots, and it seems they're not just good at it.
So maybe that's something you have to address in training, because the fights are won in the gym, the fights are won in the training. Telling a boxer to learn a body shot in the fight is way too late. I think that's something Team Israel and Team Kayuni, they should take back home and work with that on the gym, to work on body shots, because body shots are really, really effective. And if you look at world championship fights, if you look at the Manny Pacquiao fight against Keith Thurman, so Manny Pacquiao worked the body of Keith Thurman, slowed him down. He got him again in the 10th round. He almost knocked him out with a body shot. A 40-year-old man. He knocked him almost out with a body shot and slowed him significantly down. So those punches are very effective, and you should pay attention to those. And you should give body punches the same significance as punches to the head. That's what I'm trying to teach my boxers. And I think you could see that my boxers today, they went more to the body.
Exactly.
And you can see the results. That slows down the opponent.
Well, we're in round number 6, halfway through the contest, as we're getting closer to the end of the match. Anything can happen. We could have a knockout. We could have a retirement. We could have the match go the whole 9 yards. But right now, both boxers getting aggressive, fighting inside. And Kayun is there. Israel is there. But so much of open gloves coming from Israel Kamwamba there. Well, so many open gloves. I'm disappointed to say I'm watching a championship fight which has lots of unprofessional punches.
Yes, actually it does. So what Israel is doing is throwing punches with the inside of the glove, also against the backside of Osgood's head, which are all illegal punches. I'm kind of disappointed that the referee is not doing anything about it. He didn't even warn him a single time. If this was a championship fight outside, he would have had a point deducted at least. And I think we should maintain the professionality of boxing here, and make sure the fights are clean, the punches are clean, because no boxer wants to be knocked down or knocked out by a illegal punch.
Exactly. And here comes Israel again. That was another open glove landing on Kayuni's back. And the ref is there. He sees it. But sometimes you wonder if the ref is actually following the fight or just seeing two boxers fighting.
So the punches on the back of the head are first illegal and secondly very dangerous, because it can shake up your brain and it can lead to internal brain bleeding, which last week left 2 boxers, one in the US and one in Argentina. They died after the fights after hard punches to the head. And the most dangerous punches are the punches you don't see, because your body has no time to prepare for the impact of the punch. Your muscles are all loose, and that's why the punches to the back of the head are very, very dangerous, and that's why they're illegal. And I really wish the ref would say something to at least give him a warning, a heads up not to punch the back of the head.
Well,
he did it once.
The ref just saw that and warned Israel. He comes again with same punches to the back of the head, and well, that's quite dirty. But if the ref doesn't do anything, well, decision stands.
I really hope the the referees, the judges on the ring side, they don't judge these hits to the back of the head as points, because those are not points. And if they do, it would be very controversial, and maybe we should take the refs and the judges for its proper training, how to see these punches, illegal punches, and how to properly sanction them.
Well, the fight has been stopped because of so many punches to the back of the head on the part of Israel Gamwamba. And I've seen so many foul shots from the first round, and I thought maybe he was going to improve on that. I remember Chikapa, the guy who fought against Goiani, was disqualified in South Africa for foul shots.
Yes, that happens when you have domestically, when the referees are not paying attention domestically. The boxers go outside and are faced with the same rule set, but a different referee who actually takes the rules serious and enforces them. And then you're wondering why boxers get disqualified. Fouls are not properly sanctioned, as in this fight. You see, like, I'm counting 6-7 foul shots in a row, and the referee is standing there. Sorry, I'm just criticizing the referee. I'm a referee myself. You know, you always want to criticize and make your referee colleagues improve.
Exactly.
And I think after this fight, I'm gonna talk to the referee and tell him what he can improve. But at least he's doing a good job in separating the fighters and seeing some foul shots.
Awesome.
And properly sanctioning Israel right now again for foul shots to the back of the head.
At this point you were supposed to deduct a point.
Yes, after 3 warnings, you're supposed to deduct 1 point. And then after 3 further warnings, you deduct another point. You can, in professional boxing, you can deduct as much points as you want. In amateur boxing, after the 3rd warning, you're disqualified. So this is a very different rule set again. And it's really hard for a boxer to get a point deducted, because you worked so hard for this point, and then it gets deducted because of foul shots. But it's the proper sanctioning for it.
Well, this is the end of the 6th round, and it's quite an ugly round, I should say. I didn't like what I saw because I saw so many foul shots, and well, maybe Kayuna's corner ought to warn him against sustaining such shots, because we're talking about a career here and a lifetime, somebody's future here. If his brain gets damaged, it could be death, or you could turn into a vegetable.
Yes, exactly. So as a boxer, you always want to avoid getting shots, and the game is hit and don't get hit. And the advice I would give to Osgood now is stay outside. Don't go inside. Don't lower your head, because Osgood is doing the mistake of lowering his head and opening the back of his head to these illegal shots. So in his case, I would just use my footwork to stay out of range and throw long punches against the head of Israel, whose guard is falling and falling. So every round is progressing, and his guard is getting more open. You can see that. And Osgood is doing the mistake of going inside with his head first. Of course, he will receive punches to the back of his shoulders, the back of his head. He will receive anything Israel throws at him if he goes too close.
Well, in round 7, Osgood is one boxer who has a stinging uppercut, which I haven't seen all night.
Exactly. So both of them should utilize the uppercut. Israel should utilize it when Osgood is coming forward with his head first, and Osgood should utilize his long uppercut right to the chin of Israel when he's rushing forward. So you beat the boxer with his own power. The boxer is coming towards you. You just have to hold out your hand. He's going to beat himself with his own power when you just stick out your right hand, left hand, whatever you throw at him.
Well, it's a brawl again, and they're holding in the middle of the ring there, separated by the ref. And Osgood dancing. I think I would have that's exactly what you said.
That's exactly what he's doing now. It's like he was hearing what I was saying from the outside, but the crowd is so loud. So what Osgood did, he threw a nice left hook and moved out of the range. This was nice boxing, and I would like to see that more from both boxers also.
Well, that's what I would expect to do if I was in his shoes. Well, another foul shot there. Of course, he missed, but the ref should have done something about it. And, well, I'm really, really appalled by the fact that some really nasty shots, foul shots actually, are being let go without any caution at all. So, at the moment, Osgood doing the right thing, I think, and Israel trying to do the right thing. That's a big one from Israel. Open glove, of course, but landed so cleanly.
Yeah, Osgood should look out for those hard, big shots Israel is throwing at him. He just landed another one, and Osgood looks like he's in trouble. And Israel is just running after him and throwing the hardest punches he has. Some of them look more like slaps than like punches.
Exactly. The slaps.
And Osgood should not do the mistake of standing against the ropes. He should move and box nicely and not lower his head. And we want to see Osgood moving and boxing nice. And he landed a good punch there, which was not a foul shot. And both fighters should go more to the body. And Phil, it's always easy to say if you was in his shoes. We're in the 7th round. Both boxers are getting tired. It's hard to evade punches. So boxing is a really hard sport. And when you do one round, as a non-trained person, you'll be out of breath so fast. So we should always pay credit to both boxers who are giving everything in the ring to entertain the fans, to fight for their titles. And you can see they're both very well trained, and there's a lot of work inside that ring leading up to the fight.
Exactly. Now Israel is the most aggressive, but Osgood ought to use his head. He has been one of the most intelligent boxers in Malawi, and he should use his intelligence, his ring intelligence in this fight, which I'm not seeing so far, because I think he's trying to adapt to the pattern of Israel.
The problem I'm seeing with Osgood is that he throws his jabs way too slow. I think the hard punches from Israel started to wear him down now, because we're in an advanced round. Osgood has an advanced age. At some point, the body just will not follow what your head wants to do.
End of round number 7, as we're going into the 8th round. So far, so good for Israel Kamwamba, I think. Osgood has struggled all night. Is there any chance for him?
So he struggled in the last round. In the last round, he sustained some hard punches. Firstly, because he slowed down. He's not as fast on his feet anymore. He has no more upper body movement, which is as fast as in the beginning rounds. And now you can tell that the hard punches and the pressure of Israel is trying to wear him down.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, you can see that Osgood went to his corner with his head down, and this is a very bad sign for a boxer, because you always want to stand upright and maintain your pride and dignity in the ring. You don't want to show anyone that you're hurt. So going to the corner with your head down and giving a very wrong signal to your opponent, because that boosts your opponent, because the opponent knows, now I can finish him. Now I broke him. Now I can just pull my game plan through, and I can enforce my will on the other boxer.
Well, we're in the 8th round, and Osgood getting closer. They're trying to fight inside, and has gone in with strong left hooks into Israel's body. Now he's trying the right hand side, and Israel also coming with the uppercuts there. He lands so clean there. 3-4 uppercuts landing cleanly there, and he still employs his uppercut. Osgood goes down. Was that a knockdown or a slip?
So that was a slip, as he landed a right uppercut, but he pulled back and pushed Osgood down. So I would not rule it as a knockdown. Also, Osgood does not seem hurt yet, but he should be very careful of those uppercuts. And Osgood should really not go in with his head first, because I said earlier, if Israel uses his right uppercut on that lower head of Osgood, he's in real trouble.
Well, I saw Osgood getting so reckless there, throwing caution to the wind, and getting inside and going toe-to-toe, going blow by blow with Israel. I think that wasn't very smart of him.
That was not a very smart idea. Not yet, because Osgood is not a brawler. So he cannot fight as good in the close distance as Israel does. So you always want to enforce a game plan that does not play into your opponent's cards. And what Osgood now is doing is he's playing into his opponent's cards. He's standing in front of Israel, and that's what Israel wants. He wants a stationary target that is being hit easily. And you can see the result. Osgood is slowing down because he's receiving those punches. And Israel is landing good this round.
Well, it's getting interesting. Quite a brawl. It's more like what I can call a chicken fight, because the bout is being fought in very close quarters. particular areas of the ring, and the ring is so big. You can go in, you can fight from any corner. You can choose. But they're fighting to fight inside the ring. I mean, in the middle of the ring, and it seems to be prolonging in one place. And the question you have is, where is your ring intelligence?
I mean, Israel is doing it right. He wants Osgood to stand in front of him and not move. Osgood is doing the mistake here of not moving and boxing nicely to counter Israel. And you see Osgood is trying to move, but he's not landing any significant punches because he's just not a brawler. And Israel is landing at will.
Well, Israel landing those uppercuts at will, and Osgood trying to get inside. I don't know why he's doing that, because when he was wheeling backwards, stepping and punching, stepping and throwing those hooks, he was doing a good job. But now he goes toe to toe, and I think that's not too smart of him, because Israel has been fighting like that since the amateur days.
Yes, and you want to see Osgood use his footwork and get away from Israel, get in the range and get outside of the range. Land 1, 2, 3 punches and then get outside of the punching range of Israel and make him miss his haymakers, his hooks. He's throwing them as a boxer, as a good and experienced boxer. You could see every single punch Israel is throwing because he's showing his punches. He's pulling back on his hands and getting most of the power shots. And as an experienced boxer, you have to see that, you have to evade that, you have to move your head and upper body, you have to move your legs. And I would like to see that more from Osgood. Maybe his corner is giving him that advice now.
Well, it's amazing. We've just done the round number 8. As we're going into round number 9, we're getting to the championship rounds now, and anything can happen. We could have a knockdown, we could have a knockout, we could have a TKO, we could have a retirement. A towel could be thrown inside the ring to stop the fight. Anything can happen. But right now, what I've always said is, I've doubted Israel's footwork, but boxers choose to be stationary and make him shine at the end of the day.
So Osgood, as I said, is playing into Israel's cards. So Israel is an aggressive boxer who moves forward, and Osgood is giving exactly the fight Israel wants. If Osgood could move and throw sharp, quick, crisp punches, Israel would be in serious trouble. But as of now, I don't see that coming. I hope Osgood is moving more during the end of the fight and just enforces his game plan, what he can do best. Because what Israel can do best is hitting on a stationary target that's not moving and overpowering his opponent.
Very well read there by Marvin, who's my analyst tonight, and doing a very good job on this fight. It's a champion fight between Osgood Kayuni in black trunks and Israel Kamwam in red trunks. And it's a title fight, the national lightweight fight. So far, Israel has been the brawler, the fighter. Osgood has been the boxer, but unfortunately he's fell into the trap of trying, or rather has fallen into the trap of trying to fight like a brawler, which he's not good at, and he's paid so dearly for it.
So yeah, Phil, after the 10th round, I'd have it 6-4 for Israel, just because in the later rounds he applied so much pressure, and Osgood seemingly did not have an answer to that. I'm kind of missing his counter punching. He's just trying to not get hit. It doesn't seem that he wants to win this fight. He just wants to not get hit right now. But although the game is called don't get hit and hit, you have to take certain risks. And you see, even Osgood is missing punches now. Israel is doing a good job of evading him, and I think he found his distance right now where he can enforce his game plan.
Exactly, and Israel seems to be enjoying his game tonight. He's standing at a distance where he knows he can't get hit, but he can harm somebody. So I don't know what's happening in Osgood's corner, because he's got 3-4 fellow fighters who are coaching him and trying to help him in the corner. But I wonder what advice they're giving him. And Israel coming now strong, landing those uppercuts at will. It seems that's his strongest weapon tonight, the uppercut.
Yes, the uppercuts are his strongest weapons, because Osgood's guard, his double guard, his high guard is very weak. And Israel's uppercuts just go through the guard and still hit his target, although Osgood has his guard up. So he should really improve to the next round on his guard and make it tight, and he should lift up his head to not give a stationary target for those uppercuts, because those uppercuts will hurt him. And I can tell that these uppercuts will hurt him, if not now, later in the fight.
Exactly. And now Israel missing at will. Now he lands his target, coming, punishing Kayuni, who's standing on a cross stance and got hit on the back of the head. The ref saw it, but he's in doubt. Didn't sit quite clearly. There, Osgood trying an uppercut. It's a very difficult stand to counter. Floyd Mayweather uses it so well, but Osgood is in it. He can't let his hands go. Maybe the power and the quickness is gone now. He could be using his lactic acid.
What is missing with Osgood are his reflexes, because every boxer can see the fights Israel is throwing. He shows which fight his punches throwing. And my advice to Osgood would be keep your hands up. We're not Mayweather. There's only one Mayweather who can do the Philly shell guard with his hands down. We are boxers who should keep their hands up and protect our heads as good as possible from punishing punches.
Well, that was the end of the 9th round, and like the refs always say, protect yourself at all times. That's the way to go. Dropping your guard is not the smartest thing you can do as a boxer. You have to protect yourself. It's quite necessary, because the head has only a scar and the brain. And if the scar succumbs to punches and the brain is damaged, it could be permanent.
Yes, as a boxer, you'd never want a permanent damage. So we have many examples in the boxing world where boxers after long careers sustain brain damage, and they're left in a wheelchair, they're left without thinking ability, they're left in a coma, they're left even dead. So you don't wish that anyone. That's why you have to protect yourself at all times and keep your hands up, move your head, evade punches. And what Osgood should do is keep both of his hands up, get a high guard, move to the left and the right, evade those punches, counter Israel, and Israel should just pressure forward and try to break Osgood down, who is tired. He was getting tired with every more round. The punches aren't fast anymore. The punches are being pushed by both boxers. I don't see combinations. I only see single punches. And this is the opportunity for Osgood now to move and really score some significant punches and some significant points, which might change the momentum of the fight and award him the win at the end of the fight. But as of now, I don't see that coming.
Well, we're in the championship rounds now, round number 10, where Osgood Kayuni and Israel Kamwamba are brawling right in the middle of the center of the ring there. And it's Israel, the aggressor. Osgood's game plan. He's going to plan B, plan C. Seems not to be working so far. It's not the Osgood of old.
Osgood looks very hesitant. So Israel is standing in front of him with his hands down. He's an easy target for any boxer, but Osgood is not punching. He's not engaging. Maybe he's afraid of being counterpunched by one of those hard right hands Israel is throwing at him. Maybe he's tired. But now he seems like he's in trouble. And the referee separates them.
What was that? What was that?
I don't know. Maybe he will give him a standing count. And he's warning Osgood of not throwing an open glove, which is, in my point of view, not the right person to address. The referee should address Israel. And the fight is on again.
Well, Osgood drilling backwards there. Got caught by Israel Kamwamba, who's punching at will now. Osgood Kayuni trying to get the body. Now he's on the body again, but his punches are coming too slowly. Israel's too fast so far. The two boxers are holding each other and trying to fight at the same time. Not so smart. And I wonder why Osgood is still leaning forward.
So Osgood is moving forward, leaning forward with his guard up, but he's not punching, which is very bad. You don't want to have unanswered punches. As a boxer, you don't want to look at like you're the passive part. And right now, Osgood is very passive. He walks forward with his head down, hands up, without throwing punches, and Israel just working. Although most punches are not landing, it looks bad on the scorecards.
Yeah, exactly.
And Israel just scoring away one round after another because Osgood is just so passive.
Well, Israel pummeling Osgood there. I don't know, is he able to defend himself? Is the ref gonna stop this fight? I'm not sure. He's trying to punch there, but he seems wasted, totally wasted.
Both boxers are very insecure on their feet. Their stances are not proper. Israel could have finished that fight right there if his stance was correct and he could manage to land a hard and fast right hand, a right uppercut, and then followed up by a left hook. That would have been the end there, because his punches are very good and he has the timing, and Osgood stood there defenseless. In that particular moment, Israel was not standing on his feet.
Well, that was a shove. That was a shove, but it's gonna be a count.
That was it. Israel shoved down Osgood. He pushed him down, and the referee rules it as a knockdown. Osgood doesn't seem like he wants to continue. I think he's giving up the fight. That's the impression he makes to me.
Well, he's quite tired. Like I said, he looks wasted.
He looks very tired, and he looks like he has no fighting spirit in him anymore. He looks tired. And is the referee going to stop the fight? Well, I'm not sure.
I believe at this moment the fight is supposed to be stopped.
I think Osgood is talking to his corner, thinking about stopping the fight. Godfrey might stop the fight.
Exactly. I believe that's the wisest and smartest thing they can do.
I think that will keep the boxer from receiving more punishment. But now they're treating the boxer in the corner in the middle of the rounds, which is not supposed to be done. Internationally, you never see this. I don't know why the referee's not stepping in there and stopping that fight, because Osgood is clearly injured and he clearly has no fighting spirit. You should respect the will of the boxer. Live today to fight another day.
Exactly. Well, I believe that Osgood is wasted. No fighting spirit in him. No energy in him. Well, instead of going there to die, because it's going to be a sitting duck, it's going to be a sitting target anyway for Israel Kamwamba. The smartest thing you can do is just to say, I'll fight another day. Let it go.
But the referee is giving the fight again. But I think Osgood was complaining to the referee about an accidental headbutt.
Right.
So let's see. Maybe there will be an injury involved in this fight. I hope not. I hope the referee really does his job and keeps both boxers. Still tells both boxers to keep their hands up.
Well, Israel coming forward. Osgood goes to the body. He can't stand properly, Kayuni, evading those punches, but now he's getting punished in the body. Israel landing those uppercuts into the body. Osgood is getting punished. He's getting punished really hard. Even though his corner is shouting, Kayuni, Kayuni, he's getting a punishment of his life so far.
I would not say punishment of his life, but he's too passive. He's way too passive. In the amateur ranks, this fight would have been stopped already. Not just because Osgood did not answer punches, because Israel would have been disqualified by now because all those illegal punches. And now it looks like Osgood he has his body saying that he wants to give up, but his corner keeps pushing him, which is not the best idea in my opinion.
That's not smart. I believe the best thing Osgood can do is to retire in this fight. Where as a boxer, you've gone 10 rounds, that's okay.
But also as the referee and as the corner man, you have the responsibility to protect the boxer. When the referee sees the boxer is getting too much abuse, too many punches against the head, you should stop the fight. And same thing as the corner. As the coach, you have to throw in the towel. And you don't have to be ashamed of that one, because every boxer can have a bad day and not enforce his game plan as planned, as trained. So giving up, throwing the towel in this situation might be the smarter idea.
Well, I saw Derek Chisora's coach throwing in the towel when he faced David Haye, and I saw Anthony Joshua's corner throwing in the towel. Well, this happens. It's not strange to boxing, because, I mean, like you've said, not all days are Sundays, and they've done the right thing.
And the corner stops the fight, finally. So Osgood is not in the state to continue, which was the smartest idea here, which was the smartest decision, and they're saving the boxer to fight another day, to recover, to train more in the gym and come back stronger.
Thank you very much, Marvin. This has been a wonderful night. Having you in the commentary box, it's been amazing and quite an honor to us.
Thank you very much, Phil. I hope you all enjoyed the fights tonight, and I'm very happy to commentate, to help Malawi boxing thrive, and I'm very happy to help Malawian boxers achieve their goals.
Thank you so much, and maybe word of advice to both boxers. We saw some great boxing, but we also saw some appalling stunts that actually were pulled tonight. What's your advice to both corners?
So to the corner of Israel, I would address: keep the fight clean, don't slap, punch, don't use the open glove, work on your footwork, time your steps with your punches, then the punches will be more powerful. Keep up your guard, because the guard is very, very loose. And to Osgood's corner, I would say, work on that movement, side-to-side movement, on those crisp, straight punches that give you valuable points in a championship fight. And lift up your head, don't go down with your head, and don't expose yourself to the opponent.
Thank you very much, Marvin. So, at the end of the day, we know who the winner is. It's Israel Kamwamba. Well, I'll let Chifundo Dennis Perry to handle the rest of the result, because we already know the result. Israel Kamwamba has defended the title successfully, and he came in and fought so well.
Result, the winner is Israel Kamwamba TKO.
Well, undimene yatela nkhonya bano pa M1 center point TKO Israel Kamwamba. Amene Lonzo Defector Simba president wa NWBC akumveka Israel Kamwamba lamba wake kuti wampanga defend successfully. Lamba amene anamtenga kwa msilikali ndipo wapanganso defend against msilikali. Ndimene zilili kuno ku M1 center point.